This is for my conscious community and those who are decolonizing and deconstructing from Christianity or any religion at all. As you are deconstructing, decolonizing, and moving through the process of finding yourself, finding your divinity, especially after having been dogmatically indoctrinated and programmed to believe that you were a sinner and not a saint, which the word saint is Latin word for illuminated one filled with light, holy and divinely inspired. It's imperative to rebuild your self-image, especially people of color, those whom the world call black. We must reorientate ourselves in self-identity, self-knowledge, and self-revelation, which are the three missing keys in our education system here in America. It's missing in education system, it's missing in the church education systems of religion here in America, and definitely missing in most of our communities and homes on American soils. But the book everybody seems to love so much, the Bible, the same book that has been weaponized against people of color. We must understand that the Bible indeed is a coded book. Even on the cover of the Bible, that's where the code begins. This book is called and was written as a Helios Biblios, which is a Greek and Latin term that together means the book of the sun, the book of life, the book of light, fire, and sun. And as you open the cover of the Bible, the code continues with the word the New Testament and Old Testament. The word testament is not about a testimony, but the root word of testament is testi, the Latin word for body, and menti, the Latin for mind. So when you look at this from a decoded perspective, you come out with Old Testament, meaning old body, old mind. New Testament, meaning new body, new mind. All of it is speaking of yourself and your evolution, of your spiritual awakening and ascending to your divinity. This book we know as the Bible was originally written by Kabbalistic writers for the purpose of teaching their people, African Moors, and the Moors that would later go to other regions and lands of the earth, and to teach them. If the purpose was to teach them how to reach their Christ consciousness, their heaven, inner enlightenment, or their godhood. This book, the Bible, was written as a book of astrology. Now, your preacher don't want you to know that. Your preacher don't want you to believe that. They teach you against astrology. But it was originally written as a book of astrology, coded so that the initiate, the truth seeker, could receive the teachings in plain sight. And those that were not ready for enlightenment would be fooled to play with the mythologies and the allegorical stories. That's exactly what Yeshua, commonly called Jesus, did. He taught the masses of followers, but only to the initiates, aka his 12 apostles, his 12 disciples, did he reveal the esoteric, that is to say, the hidden secret meanings of what he had already said in public. This book we know as the Bible is not a Jewish book, but it is an Afrocentric book. This book is a book of science. This book is a book of knowledge that must be understood for its spiritual truths and codes within. This book we call the Bible is not a history book talking about people of the distant past that lived or not lived thousands of years ago. That's what we have been sold, told, and indoctrinated to believe. The European gave us the Bible, finally, but didn't give us the code, the keys to unlock the Bible, because those in power knew if we ever remembered and reoriented ourselves to our distant past, that this is the ancient wisdom and the ancient knowledge our ancestors set years ago in motion. And they knew that if we understood that and remembered that, the jig would be up. So the Bible is talking about nature, human nature and divine nature. However, it's written in story form. And that's one thing Moors, or AKA Africans of every continent, is good for. And they're good at telling folklore, tales, and stories and myths, which is teaching wisdom weaved into the tapestry within and without. So I encourage each of you, don't stop at what you've been taught, what you have believed or understood to be true. But I encourage you to begin to dig deep and deeper. You know, a lot of our people have only read the Bible and they ain't read nothing else out since. But do some research and understanding, read books outside of the Bible, so you can have a context, so you can begin to unravel and find out what it is you believe, where you believe your faith comes from, where does it originate, and really begin to understand who you are, not who someone told you are. That not basing your whole morality and your whole life on a book that you don't understand. Because why? It's coded. And it was coded for a reason. To keep the initiate and the truth seeker in the way of the path of enlightenment, and those who weren't ready out, so that they would be fooled by allegorical stories and mythologies. So keep growing, keep going, and keep glowing as you continue your process of spiritual evolution. And everybody may not agree with your spiritual evolution. Everybody may not agree about where you're going and your enlightenment. But don't let that deter you. Don't let fear of punishment or fear of eternal damnation or scare tactics from religious folks scare you out of your inheritance as a people. Know that you are a part of the human family, and that the divine, the creator of the universe, don't have a chosen special people. The divine loves all. Everyone is included. And in this human family, we have the good, bad, and the ugly. But it is within us to do our part in bringing out the beauty, the great God attributes that has been placed within us, that we must uncover and discover and nurture and grow, so that we will become and enter in and elevate into our Godhood, who and what we've been created and called to be by our Creator. This has been Divine Discussions with your host, Chief Apostle Veronica Israel, High Priestess and Spiritual Leader of the Soul Awakening Sanctuary and host of Divine Discussion Podcast. Hope this has helped you. Peace, love, and life for watching. And until next time, peace be with you.